Was there a moment or experience that first sparked your interest in finance or investing? So, I grew up in a very entrepreneurial family. I started my first business at the age of 14. I was jailbreaking iPhones, and then I kind of switched on to that. I sold third party GoPro accessories when I was 16, and then I started a few other businesses after that, all side hustles on the side. But I realized it took a lot of my time to make money. So I looked for a way to not have to spend so much of my time to make money, and I came across investing. And I was like, this is a cool way of earning some money on the side without having to physically do any work. So that was around 17. I invested in my first stock at the age of 17 and have slowly grown my investment portfolio over the past 10 years now. Is there a book on finance or self-development that you recommend to everyone? So a good finance book that I recommend to a lot of people is The Psychology of Money. It's a great book to understand basically your psychology, but to understand how money works and how you can use it to your advantage. Obviously, a disclaimer there is any mention of non-Islamic finance advice in terms of interest and things like that we can't act upon, but it's a good book overall. Understanding the mindset that you need when it comes to money. You've achieved impressive engagement numbers on social media. What strategies have been the most effective in building and maintaining such a committed and interactive audience? To be honest, it's been almost 5 years in the making of growing the channel Muslim Investing. In terms of strategies that I've used, one that's been the most effective has been consistency, and really figuring out what my followers, what my audience, what sort of topics they want to cover, whether it's Islamic mortgages, or Forex, things that are trending, things that people want to know about, practical steps that they can do to either avoid non-Islamic things or to, add Islamic things to their investing and finance knowledge. That's been very useful. Also a bit of trial and error over the years, changing and adapting as I've been going along. So those sort of things have helped me grow Muslim Investing to, I think we're at over 130,000 followers across platforms. Is there a hobby or skill you have that might surprise people? A hobby that I have that I've recently, over the past year now, I would say, have really, gotten myself into is coffee. I've gone from instant coffee to Nespresso coffee machine, coffee pods, to now a full-on Breville Barista Express type coffee machine, which I really enjoy making coffee, drinking coffee, going to cafes and things like that. For Muslims aspiring to become financially independent, what common misconceptions do you think are holding them back? How do you address these through your platform? So a few common misconceptions that I have, that I've come across with Muslims is that they don't think that they can be rich or grow their wealth and be a good Muslim. That's a big misconception. If we look back at the Sahaba and the people who've really grown Islam around the world and given da'wah, money has been a big help with that. Finances have helped grow the ummah. So that definitely is a big misconception. Another one when it comes to investing or finance is that people think that they need to have lots of money to start investing and growing their wealth. The reality is you can start investing from just $1 with a lot of platforms. You don't need a great deal to set aside, so long as you're taking steps to grow your wealth. So even if it's $5 a week, $10 a week, and putting aside money for your future self, teaching yourself habits now that will help you in the long run when it comes to growing your wealth. What's one thing about your work with Muslim Investing that never fails to get you excited each day? So I really enjoy talking about investing and making money, especially in a halal way. And I enjoy helping people that have no idea where to start and giving them the steps to grow their wealth. I enjoy and it excites me, seeing Muslims get on the right track when it comes to finances and investing, and actively doing things that will help grow their finances, because it's hard, times are tough, and if there is something I can do that can help shift that and can help improve someone's life, that's what really excites me. If someone's just starting their financial journey, what's the first piece of advice you would give them? The first piece of advice I'd give them is assuming they have no debt. Otherwise, it would be to pay off their debt first. The second step would be to make sure they have an emergency fund. I find that a lot of people want to start investing or want to start doing things with their finances, but they don't have an emergency fund. So an emergency fund is basically 3 months worth of expenses. Obviously differs by person. Set aside, saved in cash for a rainy day. So for example, you lose your job, your car has a major accident and it's not covered under insurance, for example. You've got some money set aside to cover those costs, so that you're not dipping into your investments or any other forms of cash that you have. This emergency fund is specifically designed for an emergency. It's important to have this before you start investing, so that, for example, the last thing you want to be doing is selling an investment at a low because you need the money.